I'm blind, and my boyfriend's best friends told me, when he wasn't around, that they could SA me and I'd never know who did it because I can't see, and because of that, if I ever got pregnant by them, I'd never know because I wouldn't be able to see my child and compare it to my boyfriend. Posted by you/ThrowRAblind. The formatting might be weird because I'm typing the whole text myself and not using any speech-to-text functions. I'll try my best to avoid a wall of text. So, my boyfriend, 31M, and I, 24F, have been dating for 3 years now. We live in an apartment together, and we're having the wonderful luck, that's sarcasm, by the way, of having my boyfriend's two best friends, 32M and 35M, as our neighbors. They live right across from us, which is a huge issue because they come over literally every day, and it almost feels like I'm living in my apartment with 3 guys instead of just one. Sometimes they come over when my boyfriend isn't even home and start engaging me in the most random and weirdest conversations. And sometimes these conversations are really disgusting. Here's an example. A few days ago, I was at home and my boyfriend was at work. As always, 32M and 35M decided to come over without bothering to tell me beforehand that they were coming over. The conversation was really unsettling this time. They started talking about how easy it could be to SA me because, according to them, they could just walk in pretending to be my boyfriend, and I wouldn't know it was them. This freaked me out a little bit because this is my exact issue. Whenever the door to my apartment opens, I always assume it's my boyfriend, but sometimes it's them instead. However, as soon as they open their stupid mouths, I know for sure that it's them and not my boyfriend. As if this whole I could SA you and you wouldn't know it was me thing wasn't enough, they said that if I got pregnant by one of them, I wouldn't know because I wouldn't be able to see that my child would look like one of them instead of my boyfriend. I just sat there and thought, what the F goes on in their brains? I'm used to people not knowing how to act in front of me because of my blindness, but my boyfriend's friends' conversations aren't just uncomfortable or awkward, they're terrifying. I don't think they would ever touch me against my will, but conversations like this are incredibly unsettling, and I wish they would stop talking about me like that. I haven't told my boyfriend about this exact situation, but I told him that his friends make me uncomfortable. I'm afraid that my boyfriend won't believe me when I tell him about this conversation because it's just so absurd. I'm almost 100% sure that if I do tell my boyfriend about his friends' behavior towards me, it will result in a 1 versus 2 situation. His friends will most likely deny anything I say, and then it will be 2 statements, them against 1 me. Just for clarification, my boyfriend knows that his best friends come over even when he's not at home, but he doesn't see it as a problem. What should I do? I'd be thankful for any advice. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Can you record that crap? Also, how do they go into the apartment? I think you can absolutely tell your boyfriend that you're not okay with them coming in when he's not around. Ops response. I'll definitely try to record it next time. They have a key for the apartment, and we actually have one for their apartment as well, but it was supposed to be used only in emergency situations. Commenter 2. I absolutely disagree with staying around long enough to record the next time these misogynistic jerks threaten to SA and impregnate you. Tell your boyfriend what is happening now, and if he hesitates 1 single second to be on your side, go stay with a friend or family member. If that is not an option, get an Airbnb or hotel for a few days. If he is by your side, the locks get changed immediately, and no one has keys. Then, look into moving. I am so very sorry that this is happening to you. I cannot even imagine hearing this from my boyfriend's closest friends. Stay strong, stay safe, but do not stay around this arrangement. Commenter 3. I haven't seen this mentioned yet, but this sounds like grooming. My fear is that this was a test to see how far they could get with you and what your reaction would be. If you do nothing, or they perceive nothing was done, this will go a bit further next time. And then the next. Do not let this go. Now is the time to make it abundantly clear that this is not going to be tolerated, and your safety and well-being is never a joke. Your boyfriend needs to know. He needs to be 100% on your side. You take back the keys they have and change the locks, or add a deadbolt. If the boyfriend is not 100% on your side, I'm afraid you have to leave. Also, normal people don't joke about SA, and certainly not about SA-ing someone in their presence, or ever. This is a huge red flag. Op adds an edit to her post. There are tons of people asking me how I was able to type this, even though I'm blind. I've explained it several times in the comments already, but people keep commenting about it, and I'm getting tired of explaining the same thing over and over again. There is a YouTube video called How I Use Technology as a Blind Person by a woman called Molly Burke. Feel free to watch, or listen to, this video. Update 2 weeks later. This is actually a repost of my update. I posted this only a few days after my original post, but I must have somehow deleted it because it doesn't show up on my profile anymore. I'm very sorry about that. Using technology as a blind person doesn't always go smoothly, but at least I was able to find the saved copy of my update on my laptop. Before anyone asks again, yes, blind people are able to use computers and phones. The amount of people that think that I'm lying about being blind because I'm able to use a computer, a phone, and Reddit is sickening. If you are interested to see how blind people use technology, watch the video How I Use Technology as a Blind Person by Molly Burke on YouTube. This will hopefully answer your questions. A lot of people in the comments have pointed out the urgency of the situation and told me to immediately tell my boyfriend about his friend's behavior. My boyfriend came home around 5 hours after I made that post. I was planning on telling him everything, but he was in an incredibly bad mood and just wanted to go to bed, so I didn't do it. To be honest, at this point I still didn't fully realize the urgency of the situation, even though so many people pointed it out. The next day, my boyfriend went to work again, and I decided to wait for him at home because I didn't have the possibility to go anywhere else, but I contacted my parents and told them about my situation. That way, at least someone would know about me if something bad happened. This time, when 32M and 35M came into my apartment, the door was locked, they have a key. I wasn't just uncomfortable with them being there, I was in fact on the verge of having a panic attack. They must have noticed that because they did some disgusting things to me while behaving as if this whole thing was funny. They did not SA me, but what they did wasn't okay. I started screaming, which kind of scared off 32M and 35M, and luckily an elderly lady from the floor above heard me screaming. I swear, this lady was my guardian angel. She didn't force me to explain anything and just took me to her apartment. She was comforting me for nearly 2 hours, during which I couldn't stop bawling my eyes out. Perhaps this is life's way of telling me to stop being so naive. My dad always told me Vorsicht ist besser als Nachsicht equals better safe than sorry. From now on, I will definitely follow this advice. I will never wait for things to escalate like this again. When my boyfriend came home, I was finally able to tell him about everything. I've never witnessed him being so angry. He genuinely thought that his friends were helping me out when he was at work, and he apologized for not taking me seriously when I told him that his friends make me uncomfortable. Of course, things couldn't just end here. My boyfriend was so angry that he decided to go over to his friend's apartment. There was lots of yelling, and it resulted in a physical fight. My boyfriend seems to have no injuries though. Shortly after, my boyfriend took some time off work, packed our bags, and drove us to my parents' house. We are currently trying to find a new apartment, but it will take some time to find one that is suitable for a blind person. Thank you so much for all of the comments on my original post and all of the private messages. I couldn't answer all of them, but please know that I appreciate every single comment and message. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Never underestimate the power of old German ladies coming to the rescue. When I was a small child, I got locked out of my Opa's apartment, and his neighbor brought me into her apartment and fed me cookies until my mother came back. I remember your old post, and I'm very glad you're all right. Please consider a police report on these men, as well. Commenter 2. I remember seeing something a while ago, can't remember where, about the importance of pushing back on grape jokes. Grapists think that everyone thinks like them, and that the only difference is that they have the openness to say what they think. By pushing back, you're letting them know that what they're thinking is not normal in the damn slightest. Is this one of those times where they were smart enough to never say that in front of the boyfriend? Or were they just smart enough to never use Op as an example, and he brushed off the other women they made jokes about? I genuinely can't tell because, apart from going over to talk to them, stupid effing move that could have gone far worse, he did everything right in the fallout. Only other misstep is not taking her seriously about her being uncomfortable about them and letting them keep a key. Christ, I hope this woman is okay now, and thank F for that old lady.